Meet Chico, the baby Capuchin. For this youngster, growing up wild is one giant adventure. To survive Brazil's arid forests, he is learning the laws of the land, like what to eat and when to flee. Chico's clever family have entered the Stone Age. Mastering the tools of his trade will be his biggest test. Across the world, baby animals are taking their first steps and tackling their first challenges. They are the next hope for their kind. They are the new kids in the wild. It's the start of the dry season in Serra de Capivara, Brazil. Located in the northeast of the country, this arid forest stretches over 1,200 square kilometers. Thousands of years ago, some of our earliest ancestors left their mark on these ancient rocks. It's amongst the oldest artwork in the world. Today, it's home to a very different group of primates. Tufted capuchins. They're some of the smartest animals on Earth. These monkeys have mastered tools the same way our ancestors did millions of years ago. They use sticks and stones to access food other animals can't reach. This troop is made up of 16 adults and a few juveniles. And one brand new addition. He's just 3 weeks old. Meet little Chico. For just over a year, he'll rely on his mum's milk. He doesn't eat much solid food yet, but he's curious and nibbles on whatever he can find amongst the leaves. When he's weaned, he'll eat nuts, insects, and even reptiles. For now, it's the odd seed. Most baby capuchins stick to their mothers like glue. But Chico is bold. The adventurous monkey has entered the forest. He's looking for his older cousins. And when he does eventually find them, they're in full swing. It's more than just fun and games. It's also important strength and agility training. Chico is captivated. But he's too small to play. He needs to grow bigger and stronger before he can join in. That won't be easy for him. Chico's been born at a tough time of year. It's the start of the dry season, which in this part of the world means 8 months of virtually no rain. Food is hard to find for many of the animals that call this place home. They've all adapted ways of coping. Chico's family is no exception. They're true masters of survival. A tight-knit family with strong leadership is key. This is Carlito. He's Chico's father. The biggest and strongest of the troop. He's the alpha male. Carlito's the family's primary protector and leads the search for food. The females prefer to mate with him. He's an impressive male. But at 20 years old, he's ruled for a long time. And is increasingly vulnerable to a challenge from a younger, growing male. In this troop, that's Jacinto, an envious rival. He's had fights with Carlito before, and even lost some of his ear in one of their scraps. At 10 years old, he's almost as strong as the troop's leader. It's just a matter of time before he tries to take the top spot. Carlito keeps a watchful eye on the potential usurper. If he gets too close, the alpha won't hesitate to fight. But it's not just rivals he needs to watch out for. Serra de Capivara is home to some dangerous creatures. The Capuchin's biggest threat here is the jaguar. This lone hunter is eyeing the troop from afar. Adventurous Chico is exploring on his own. Unaware that the jaguar has him in his sights. As the youngest, he's an easy target. But ever-alert Carlito spots the danger and calls the alarm. Chico's confused by the ruckus. but Mum rushes in to sweep him up. And the jaguar moves on. Little Chico has learnt a valuable lesson. When a grown-up sounds the alarm, they mean business. Capuchins have unique alarm calls for different threats. Chico's just learned the alarm call for danger on the ground. But distinguishing between these calls when it counts, that's a critical survival skill that he'll need to perfect. Only half of all baby capuchins make it to adulthood. Today's lesson just improved Chico's odds. One month later, and the land is drying out. Curious Chico is now 8 weeks old. He's getting used to the daily routines of his extended family. And for the last month, he's been mixing more with the group. They spend a large part of the day grooming each other. Picking out lice, ticks, and twigs. But it's not just for cleanliness. It strengthens bonds within the troop and maintains family harmony. As the youngest, Chico is watching, learning, and waiting for his turn. But grooming is hungry work. During the dry months, cashew nuts are one of the troop's main sources of food. And Carlito knows just the spot to find them. The troop follows closely behind. There's just one problem. The nuts are encased in a hard shell. The capuchins aren't strong enough to prise them open. But Carlito knows exactly what to do. Chico watches as his dad looks for the right size stone. With a couple of well-positioned hits, the protein-rich nut is released. This technique helps the troop through the hardest times. As Carlito works, he has a captive younger audience. The alpha patiently shares with his youngest son. Giving Chico his first taste of the delicious nuts. The adventurous little Capuchin decides to have a go. But he's going to have to wait a few months before he's capable of even lifting the stone. Until he masters the skill, there's always Dad. Chico and his family can't survive on cashew nuts alone. Carlito leads the troop in search of other nuts and plants. As they forage, they're blissfully unaware of the danger that lurks nearby. A yellow scorpion's sting could be lethal. Carlito spots the potential killer and swiftly adds it to today's menu. Just like us, Capuchins are omnivores. Alongside plants, they eat insects, rodents, and even small birds. This time, little Chico sets off to find his own meal. Finding a tasty snack in the dry season isn't easy. He needs strong climbing skills to search in the highest branches. Using his hands, feet, and even his tail, he navigates the treetops. Adventurous Chico gets into the swing of things faster than most. With each successful jump, his confidence grows. But there are still things he has to learn about his home. In this extremely dry climate, hot air can rise quickly. With cooler air rushing in to fill the void, resulting in powerful winds that seem to appear out of nowhere. Little Chico's in trouble and scared. He cries out for his mum. But he's unknowingly strayed too far from the troop. His mother searches alone. She finally hears his call. Used to the winds, she heads for Chico. The winds disappear as quickly as they came. Safely on the ground, Chico's mum hurries to catch up with the troop. She can hear them in the distance, and she follows. Always on the move, they can travel up to 3 kilometers in a day. They're not in the trees. The troop has headed to an ancient network of caves. It's a favourite hunting ground because it's a great place to find lizards. They're one of the monkey's favourite fast foods. That's if they can catch them. There are slower options in the cave. Granular toads. They're easier to catch. But they're not very appetizing. The caves aren't just a dining hall. They're also a fun playground for Chico's older cousins. Chico is still too small to play on the steep walls. Once again, he has to sit on the sidelines and watch. But before long, he'll be just as nimble. As darkness falls and the troop tires, they settle down to spend the night in the caves. It's now halfway through the dry season. It'll be around 4 months until the rains arrive. food and water are getting harder to find. Some haven't made it. But with Carlito as leader, the Capuchin troop isn't just surviving, they're thriving. The family is actually growing. At 6 months old, Chico is no longer the youngest. His 2 baby cousins are just a few days old. With new mouths to feed, the troop needs to keep finding food. Chico gives them a quick glance, then heads to Mum. He still has her milk for now, but in less than a year, he must feed himself. So now's the time to learn. Adventurous Chico once again heads off on his own in search of food. He's much more adept at climbing. And navigates the canopy with finesse. He knows where to find food for himself now. And where to get a drink. But he'd better get back to his family if he doesn't want to miss out on a special treat. Carlito has brought the troop to a collection of bee nests, each of them chock full of honey. These are stingless bees, so the monkeys won't be harmed. But to reach their delicious produce requires ingenuity. For the more difficult nests, a stick is the tool of choice. Carlito is a pro. The calorie-rich treat is a great energy boost. Chico observes Carlito closely. If he wants to enjoy the region's sweetest treat, He'll need to use his head as well as his hands to master this clever technique. Chico doesn't get a taste today. Carlito isn't in the sharing mood and takes all the honey for himself. The troop isn't alone in its hunt for food. Every animal in the forest is trying to get enough during the dry season. But few are as clever as the monkeys, who are always there to clean up what others miss. Unfortunate animals that don't find enough to eat may end up on someone else's menu. Dark wings glide over the valley. This large bird is on the hunt for meat. It cruises on hot air thermals, barely flapping its wings. It has excellent eyesight and can sniff out food from over 1.5 kilometers away. One of the troop spots the raptor in flight. And a new alarm call rings out. It means a threat from the sky. This time, Chico instinctively joins the others as they dash for cover. It's only a vulture. They're scavengers and don't eat live prey. The troop is safe. Better to have the occasional false alarm than let their guard down too early. And it's taught Chico another valuable warning call. As the sun rises over their valley, a strange sound echoes through the forest. But it's not a Capuchin call. Chico's troop shares its territory with another monkey species. They're known for their distinctive call. It can be heard almost 5 kilometers in the distance. But today, it's coming from just a few hundred meters away. And it's getting closer. Howler monkeys usually move in groups, but this male is all alone. Troublesome leaders can be banished from their family. Just like Capuchins. howler monkeys are larger than capuchins, and the two species clash over food and territory. Chico's dad Carlito makes a show of strength, but the big intruder just ignores him. Carlito has to decide: fight or flight. He decides to play it safe and leads the troop in a tactical retreat, up the steep cliffs where they can move faster than their heavier rival. The lonesome intruder continues on his way, preoccupied with his search for food. The capuchins continue their ascent. They're just as comfortable on the steep cliffs as in the treetops. Which is important here in Brazil's Serra da Capivara. Cliff faces like this dominate the landscape. These ancient rock formations were forged millions of years ago. The great rivers and glaciers that carved them have long since dried up. The rocky maze that remains has become the capuchin's safe haven. And just as important, it's home to 17 species of lizard. All of them delicious. Inspired by the older monkeys, Chico decides to try and catch a meal of his own. He's getting better at maneuvering along the cliffs, and quickly finds a potential snack. A tailless whip scorpion. It looks intimidating, but it doesn't have a venomous sting. Chico's grown confident in his climbing skills. But he's less sure when it comes to strange-looking bugs. He makes his second tactical retreat of the day. The dusty seeds on the forest floor may be dull, but at least they're not scary. The dry season lingers on. Today, Chico searches for his lunch under the scorching midday sun. But he's oblivious to a colourful warning in the rocks. Chico's older cousins move in for a closer look. It's hard to tell. Is this snake a serious danger or a potential meal? Get it wrong, and the curious Capuchins could receive a deadly dose of venom. The cousins get closer. But Carlito sounds the familiar alarm for danger on the ground. The reptile has similar markings to the venomous Brazilian coral snake. But there's no risk. It's a harmless false coral snake. It evolved that color pattern for a reason. The Capuchins aren't taking any chances. So the snake makes it past unscathed. Today, the troop's biggest upset could come from closer to home. The close encounter with the snake has got the troop riled up. Amidst the chaos, someone sees an opportunity. Jacinto, the would-be usurper, approaches Carlito. Rearing up is seriously aggressive body language. It's a challenge. But Carlito won't back down without a fight. Jacinto bares his fangs to intimidate. Chico can only watch on. Carlito knows he has everything to lose and charges. Jacinto's bravado evaporates. If the alpha gets his hands on the rival, it'll be a bloody encounter. Jacinto escapes. But Carlito has put him back in his place, in front of the whole troop. It's a good lesson for Chico. Knowing when to mount a challenge will be key if he ever wants to be leader. It doesn't take long for everyone to get over the drama. Shifting group dynamics is all part of being a Capuchin. With peace returned, the troop settles down for the night. The dry season pushes on. The troop's already up and scouring the forest for their breakfast, including little Chico. But food is becoming increasingly hard to find. some of the older Capuchins find the last few cashew nuts. Chico watches on. The little monkey has spent months trying to crack these nuts. He sets up to practice, looking for the perfect tool. The eyes of the troop are on him. He does it. Chico's learned the skill that sets his family apart and will enable him to thrive in this challenging environment. With this final barrier crossed, there's nothing standing in Chico's way on the road to adulthood. He's now a fully fledged member of one of the world's most sophisticated animal troops. In the last 8 months, Chico has been on a wild journey. He's had to learn fast. From a tiny baby clinging to his mother's back to a mountain climbing, tool using forager. Chico has already beaten the odds, making it to 8 months old. But now he faces the next chapter. In a year, his mother will have another baby, and Chico will have to become completely independent. His generation is the next hope for the future of his species. And with Chico among them, that future looks bright. Meet Ravi, the baby lion-tailed macaque. For this youngster, growing up wild is one giant adventure. At this age, he stays close to Mum, but he must learn the laws of the land in his ever-changing home. Ravi's family usually live life in the treetops, but with less and less forest, Ravi's biggest test will be adapting to a world in transition. Across the world, baby animals are taking their first steps and tackling their first challenges. They are the next hope for their kind. They are the new kids in the wild. The Western Ghats. This vast mountain range covers 160,000 square kilometers. They start near Mumbai and run along India's western edge to its southernmost tip. Nestled within them is the town of Valparai. These ancient slopes are some of the most biologically diverse places on Earth. The tropical rainforest is a refuge for over 300 threatened species. Including some of the world's most endangered primates. Lion-tailed macaques. There are fewer than 4,000 left in the whole of India. This super troop of 40 is twice the size of any other group in the area. And this family is still growing. Meet little Ravi. At just a few weeks old, he stays close to Mindy, his mum. Now and then, he takes a few steps away to explore his forest home just the tiniest bit. His adventures are brief. He only feels safe next to her. And next to another special little monkey. This is his twin sister, Nina. Twins in lion-tailed macaques are extremely rare. They'll stick close to Mindy for 12 months, feeding on her milk. But Mindy's not the only mum on the block. This group has lots of tiny new members. That's a sign the troop is secure, with strong leaders. AJ is the largest and oldest male. He was once the boss. But 8 months ago, he was ousted. By a younger, stronger male, Zane. He's the alpha now. AJ may have lost his spot at the top, but he still supports Zane defending the troop from danger. As head honcho, Zane is father to the troop's newborns, including Ravi and his sister. To maintain the top position, he must keep the whole troop fed. And that's not easy with a shrinking habitat. Lion-tailed macaques usually feed in the treetops. But it's summer, and at this time of year, there's more food on the ground. Zane leads them down to find their next meal. AJ has scouted ahead to stand guard, while Zane keeps the younger ones in check. Zane needs everyone to be alert as they reach the border of their forest home. Between their forested patch and the next stretches a vast expanse of tea plantation. Trees are being pulled down, making way for roads, houses, and crops. Lion-tailed macaques have lost 99% of their original range, making hunting for food increasingly difficult. The older macaques are used to this challenge. And for Ravi and his sister, it's a chance to explore an exciting new area where the forest ends. The curious siblings watch and learn from their older cousins, who are already foraging for themselves. One adult has hit the jackpot. A protein-rich insect. A macaque delicacy. Ravi tests out what the forest floor has to offer. But he soon heads back to Mindy for some milk. Having twins means Ravi's mum has to work extra hard to find enough food to produce milk for two. The troop has picked this area clean. Zane decides it's now time for a well-earned break. Ravi and Nina are getting used to the daily routines of their extended family. A large part of the day is spent grooming, picking out lice, ticks, and twigs. But it's not just for cleanliness. It strengthens bonds between the troop and maintains family harmony. The twins watch and learn. It's their father Zane that gets the most attention. Higher-ranking members are groomed a lot more than lower-ranking individuals. The mothers try to get in on the action too. That's if their babies let them. Mindy has her hands full. Ravi is becoming a little braver with each day. Nina is more cautious, staying close to Mum. Ravi soon spots his cousins playing. But he doesn't want to wander too far. Instead, he tries to hone his climbing skills. It's a great adventure for Ravi. But he's not gone far. Ravi and Nina spend 70% of their day drinking milk. But dinner time is cut short. An alarm call alerts the whole troop. Zane has spotted something. A spectacled cobra. At less than half a meter in length, this one's only a baby. Still, one strike could be fatal. And inquisitive infants are most vulnerable of all. The troop works together. Mindy keeps Ravi and Nina at a safe distance, whilst the other adults try to intimidate the reptile. The cobra's in its defensive posture, ready to strike. But the troop's intimidation works. The snake retreats under a fallen log. With the threat over, everyone can relax. Ravi's learnt the distinct alarm call that might save him in the future. He looks on at his father, Zane. One day, he could be like him, a strong leader, able to protect his family. With the danger past, Zane leads the troop back up to the treetops. In the canopy, there's another surprise waiting for Ravi. But there's no alarm call this time. These are bonnet macaques. Friendly neighbours who live on the outskirts of town, happy to eat what humans eat. The lion-tailed macaques realize these distant relations mean them no harm and welcome their urban cousins, even allowing some friendly grooming. In contrast to Ravi's troop, the bonnet macaque's adaptability means their population is far bigger and more widespread. Ravi and Nina can see that not all of the forest residents are a threat. some can be friends too. Life in the Western Ghats is dictated by the monsoon rains, which sweep in from the southwest. The Ghats influence the area's weather patterns by intercepting the rain-laden monsoon winds. It is this hot, wet climate that makes this part of India one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. But this year, there's a problem. It's June, and the monsoon rains should have arrived by now. Many of the fruits won't grow until the ground is replenished with water. It's hard for Mindy to produce milk when there's not much food. As Ravi and his sister grow, they sap more and more of Mindy's energy. Ravi can't stay close to Mum forever. Unlike his sister, he'll eventually leave the troop and roam the forest with other males, before hopefully commanding a family of his own. Nina will stay with her mum. Ravi can learn a lot following Mindy as she searches for food. A few dry husks are all she can find today. Whilst his mother is busy, Ravi sets off on another adventure. His climbing efforts soon gain an audience. This young aunt has yet to have a baby of her own and is desperate to get some maternal experience. She lacks a mother's touch. A grabby aunt isn't helpful when learning to climb. Ever watchful, Mindy steps in. Socializing is important for Ravi, but he is still just over a month old and needs his mum to keep him safe. With so much of their natural habitat destroyed, pickings are sparse. It's down to Zane to find more food. He decides to move the troop on to more bountiful lands. But it will be a perilous journey, especially with youngsters in tow. A river is the first obstacle. Macaques don't mind water, but faced with a choice, keeping dry wins every time. AJ makes sure everyone is accounted for and helps some of the youngsters. Despite carrying 2 babies, Mindy's as agile as ever. She can jump as far as anyone. And few can jump quite like a lion-tailed macaque. After a full day travelling, the troop takes a well-earned rest. It's still several kilometres before they reach Zane's goal. They settle down for the night. Daybreak. A gentle rain is an encouraging sign. These pre-monsoon showers are nowhere near the deluge they're waiting for, but they're welcome nonetheless. They've reached another tea plantation. This was once part of their forest home. But now, some larger neighbours have taken up residence. These wild cattle are called gar. Standing over 2 meters tall and weighing over 900 kilograms, their sheer size makes them an intimidating sight. And they have an appetite to match. But they don't like tea. Instead, they graze the furrows in between the crops, keeping them free of weeds. Mindy keeps Ravi and Nina close to her side. It's the first time they've seen such giant beasts. And they can see how the troop gives them a wide berth. Zane guides the troop away from the plantation. AJ once again hangs back, making sure everybody's through. The troop stumbles upon some rural buildings. Curious by nature, they explore. This could be the perfect opportunity for their next meal. The trees may have been cleared, but washing lines, power cables, and drain pipes work just as well for infiltrating the premises. The hope of something to eat draws Mindy closer. But a higher-ranking female isn't letting anyone in before her. Hierarchies are strong amongst both males and females in lion-tailed macaques. Mindy's lower down the social ladder, so she will have to wait her turn. For those at the top, Zane's tenacity pays off. A bag of candy. Hardly nutritious, but monkeys have a sweet tooth, just as humans do. Zane's picked up something else. A mirror, and he's mesmerized. It's not actually known if lion-tailed macaques can recognize their own reflection. But he likes what he sees. Mindy has managed to find some scraps to eat, but it's not enough. Zane knows that to stay in power, he needs to keep the troop fed. So he moves them on. But just meters away from the buildings, there's another obstacle to overcome. For Ravi and Nina, it's their first time on a road. The little macaques have no idea of the peril they face. One female hanging back is testament to this. She was hit by a vehicle just a month ago. She's still on the mend, but is one of the lucky ones. Many do not make it. It's unpredictable and dangerous. But the hungry troop has no choice. They must cross. Mindy takes her chance. Timing is everything. A few close shaves, but they've made it. Ravi and Nina have learnt that it's not just predators they must be wary of, but busy roads too. Ravi's generation are learning to adapt to a life alongside an ever-increasing human population. Across, they now face a concrete jungle. Lion-tailed macaques share these hills with some 50 million humans. That's one macaque to every 14,000 people. for the twins, it's a whole new world. As the troop passes through, they search for a bonus meal. Rice is a carb-rich treat. Zane has found an open window, and there's no one home. It's too risky for Mindy with her twins, so she hangs back. There's no rich pickings to be had inside, and some of them have been spotted. So they quickly regroup. The opportunistic macaques are unwelcome here. They pick their passage carefully to stay out of reach of the more hostile locals. They've had their hit of fast food, but this was just a detour. Zane knows where he's taking the troop. Another crossing. But despite their frosty welcome in town, here people are more affable towards the roaming macaques. These sign-wielding volunteers make the troop's passage much safer. The long journey has finally paid off. On the other side of the road is their destination. An early fruiting tree. A lifeline while the troop waits for the monsoon to properly commence. Zane's led them to a part of the forest where the soil is rich, deep, and porous. Perfect for this old jackfruit tree to flourish. With the trees living for nearly 100 years, Ravi has learnt an important location for food. He also gets his first taste of jackfruit. The large pods fall to the ground when overripe. But with the monsoon yet to arrive, this one gets a helping hand from a hungry Mindy. She uses her cheek pouches, which can store as much food as her stomach. Handy if you want to save some for later, or if, like her, you have hungry twins to feed. As the macaques eat, they disperse the seeds, which helps them to germinate. But for more fruit to flourish throughout the macaques' home, they need the monsoon to arrive. Fortunately, the recent showers were a good omen. These darkened skies hail the change the troop has been waiting for. The gentle showers become a deluge and last for days. Rivers and streams flow freely through the forests once again, bringing new shoots of life to the undergrowth, including the troop's precious jackfruit. The rain is a welcome relief. And with the promise of more fruit to come, the troop must now play the waiting game. Several weeks pass, and the monsoon has drenched the Western Ghats. All the water has ripened jackfruit right across the troop's home range. Plump and sweet from the nourishing conditions, they also provide a feast for swarms of fruit flies. And this overripe fallen pod is welcomed by an Indian muntjac. With so much food to go round, little Ravi has grown stronger since the monsoon arrived. His confidence in his climbing is growing, while Nina still prefers to stay close to Mum. Zane's proving himself a worthy leader by guiding his huge family through some difficult challenges. But here in India's Western Ghats, life has evolved even stranger ways of ensuring the next generation succeeds. The monsoon sets the stage for one of the region's most exotic shows. These male dancing frogs are ready and waiting to perform. Curious Ravi heads over for a front row seat. With a chorus of croaks to alert female onlookers, their extravagant dance begins. They start by stretching one hind leg at a time, spreading their toes to reveal a dark webbing. The more expressive the dance, the more chance they'll get noticed. If that isn't enough, a hefty kick will deter rivals. Competition is fierce, with 100 male dancing frogs to every one female. They continue in the hope that a passing female will notice them and secure the next generation of dancing frogs. For Ravi, he's got a few years to wait before he needs to worry about impressing a mate. His troop now has plenty of food, so can spend more time socializing. The twins take the opportunity to practice their climbing once again. Ravi's growing more confident. He's ready to graduate to proper tree climbing. These brave steps open new doors, a chance to play with his older cousins. A glut of fruit has helped him build the strength to join the game. But the youngsters don't know that their rough and tumble has disturbed one of the world's deadliest creatures, a cobra. This time, it's a king cobra, and fully grown. These fearsome giants can reach nearly 6 meters in length, far bigger than any other venomous snake in the world, and capable of extreme aggression if it feels threatened. Ravi's boisterous play could result in deadly consequences if they get too close to the giant serpent. Ravi spots the danger. He's seen a snake before and knows what to do. It's his alarm call that brings an abrupt end to play. But the king cobra doesn't leave. He makes his way towards Ravi, who's alone in the tree. The adults below call out another alarm. But it's not for the snake. There's a second threat from above. A crested serpent eagle. These eagles have been known to carry off prey as big as a baby macaque. Sometimes salvation comes from the most unlikely place. Ravi survived a serious threat. But most importantly, he's helped protect the troop from imminent danger. He's come a long way in his first few months. From a small and vulnerable baby to a clever, adventurous member of the troop. He's had to come out of his shell and his mother's comforting embrace. He's got a lot ahead of him. As a male, he's destined to leave the troop and carve out his own future. Deadly predators and an ever-changing world will be constant challenges. But with a mother like Mindy raising him, a protector like AJ standing guard, and a father like Zane to learn from, Ravi stands a great chance of one day becoming the alpha male of his very own troop.